Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, President of the Swiss Confederation to deliver her address. Madam President.
Well, thank you, Madam President, Mr. Sadriou, Excellencies, dear colleagues in the Federal Council, ladies and gentlemen. Madam President, we are really delighted to welcome you and your delegation to Switzerland. And I mean, it was just a great welcome that your people gave you on the Parliament Square here. It was really enthusiastic, and this was for you and shows how popular you are and how much love you get from your population. Now, Switzerland was one of the first countries to recognize Kosovo's independence in 2008, and now we have the privilege of hosting the first state visit by a Kosovar head of state in our country. This visit is a testament to the diverse relations that flourish between Switzerland and Kosovo. And it is an opportunity to highlight the promising prospects for the continued exchange between our two countries. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge that the more than 160,000 people who formed the Kosovar diaspora in Switzerland. The first Kosovar workers came to our country back in the 1960s and 70s. They supported our economic growth during that period, contributing to industry, hospitality, and construction. Later in the 1990s, a far more distressing wave of migration followed. Political turmoil and ultimately war forced many Kosovars to flee their homeland. During those dark days, Switzerland offered sanctuary and security to tens of thousands. Since then, many of these families have established new roots here and forged new paths for themselves. Today, numerous second and third generation Swiss citizens of Kosovar heritage call Switzerland their home. They have become woven into the fabric of our society. Whether they're football stars, teachers, mechanics, managers, or politicians, they have all helped shape our nation for decades. Their success stories are also Switzerland's success stories. A fine example of the close bonds between our countries is that the Kosovar ambassador to Switzerland is in fact Swiss. The story of migration from Kosovo to Switzerland is one of integration and growing together. And it is a story of solidarity with those seeking refuge. For over 3 years now, we have once again witnessed war in Europe, on European soil. Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine reminds us that peace and self-determination can never be taken for granted. They must be defended. Kosovars understand all too well what it means to stand up for freedom and self-determination. Switzerland stands firmly behind international law and the territorial integrity of all states, whether in Ukraine or Kosovo. My country remains steadfastly committed to peace and security in the Western Balkans. We are working to strengthen democratic structures and bolster trust in the rule of law. Both Switzerland and Kosovo are democracies with diverse political landscapes, and both nations are committed to protecting minorities. This binds us together more profoundly than ever in these uncertain times globally. Madam President, Excellencies, today we all have the opportunity to discuss the full spectrum of bilateral relations. We will also address international developments. The European Union is an important partner for both our countries. Switzerland is pursuing its proven bilateral approach in its cooperation with the European Union. Our interest-based policy is reflected in a series of agreements with the EU in clearly defined areas. For its part, Kosovo aspires to full EU membership. We support this European ambition, as we do for all Western Balkan nations. We also have a special relationship with the United States. Switzerland enjoys a deep and long-standing partnership with the US, and for Kosovo, the US stands as one of its closest allies. It provided indispensable support on Kosovo's journey to independence and international recognition. Current geopolitical shifts, partly driven by US policy, present new challenges for many countries. The world is undergoing a profound realignment. We don't know what the new global balance will look like. But what we will need more than ever is a commitment to a rules-based international order, to peace and security, to open markets and democratic values. Madam President, Excellencies, one fundamental difference between our countries is the length of their existence as sovereign states. For Switzerland, the first decades of our federal state lies so far back that we largely forget it, or we tend to forget how difficult it was in the beginning and what it means to really build a nation. In contrast, Kosovo is Europe's youngest nation state. Despite this difference, we share many similarities, perhaps most notably our beautiful mountain landscape, but also the charm of small communities and the strong sense of belonging. So, Madam President, Mr. Sadriou, the entire Federal Council looks forward to your visit, to today's discussions, and to strengthening the future ties between our two countries. Thank you.